Welcome to a special edition of Prep Rally today. This is our special signing day edition. Today is Wednesday, February 1st, which is a National Signing Day. I know the calendar says it's February, but actually this is like a Christmas day for a lot of high school kids. This is something that they've spent a lot of hours and weeks and months and years preparing for this special day to sign athletic scholarships and national letters of intent with various colleges, not just in football, but also basketball signing station, baseball signings, soccer, volleyball, so the whole gamut. I'm joined here today by Matt Jones. Matt is with Whole Hog Sports, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Arkansas Razorbacks and just the large number of signees that they had this year, more than 20, and about half of those are already on campus as early enrollees. So, Matt, could you give us kind of a little overview today of who all Arkansas has signed and some of those players who might actually have an immediate impact on the team?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You mentioned that they've got about half of their signees. They've got they signed 10 back in the early part, so they could get early enrollees in for the midterm. And today they're expected to sign 14, including Sevin Callaway from Dallas, a cornerback who just committed to the Razorbacks this morning. But, so it kind of changes the dynamic of signing day a little bit, and I think we're going to see it change again even more next year when it looks like the NCAA is going to allow football teams to have a December signing date. And so I think this is kind of the last year maybe that we see that February signing date become really important for both the high school players and the colleges, because I think that in the future the December signing date is going to become kind of the one that colleges really want to get their players locked into, so they don't have any of that, hey, Ole Miss committed or offered me 3 days before signing day, and now I'm going to flip over there, whoever it might be. I think it's going to be more like the November signing date is for baseball and basketball. That's obviously bigger than the spring signing date is. But as far as Arkansas goes, I think they're going to have 7 or 8 players who are 4 stars by ESPN. They're ranked 4 stars by ESPN. It's a class that, just kind of a common class at Arkansas that's somewhere near the middle, 7th, 8th, 9th best in the SEC.
I think I saw it ranked maybe 30th in the country.
Yeah, but and that's the thing about the SEC is you might have the 11th best signing class in the SEC, but it may be top 26, 27 nationally, and so there's just so much competition to get players in this area. So you're going to hear coaches talk a lot today about we met our needs, we did this, we did that. I think for Arkansas, one of the things that they did today probably the strongest part of this class is their receivers. They've got some really good receivers, both from high school and from junior college. We can talk about them in just a moment, but because of the players they've lost, Drew Morgan, Keon Hatcher, some others, I think that it was very important for them to have a good receiver class, and so I think that they did accomplish that. I think they probably would have liked to have a little bit more help on the defensive line than they ended up getting. Only a couple of defensive linemen committed to this class, and they were both last-minute commitments to the class. At linebacker, they had some guys redshirt last year, so I don't know how much this freshman class contributes next season. And then in the secondary, we mentioned Sevin Callaway. They also got the best player in the state of Arkansas, at least in the eyes of the recruit, Knicks, a corner or a safety from Ashdown named Monteric Brown. So those are 2 that could potentially come in next year and add some competition in the secondary, and that's obviously been an area that they've struggled a lot in the last few years.
I think we mentioned they were going to sign or have 24 members of this 2017 class, good number of JUCOs and early enrollees, and just a mix, like you said. 24 seems like an awful high number. That's almost a quarter of their roster is what they'll be signing in this class. So you're going to see a lot of new faces on the sideline next fall.
Yeah, well, you can sign up to 25 every year, and so I think that what they've done is they've signed 24. They're leaving that 25th scholarship open to potentially maybe a player graduating in the spring and being able to take that graduate transfer exemption. I think that you might see that, in an area where they need some immediate help, whether that be on the defensive line or whether that be at a linebacker position or wherever. So I think that's what they're trying to do there. But think about it, you get 25 a year. Over 4 years, that's 100 players. Well, you can only have 85 on scholarship at one time, and so it's just it's a byproduct of the trend in college athletics right now, whether it's football or basketball or even some other non-revenue sports, is the transfers are so prevalent that you end up signing these guys, and the truth of the matter is they got 24. Probably will be sitting here in 2 or 3 years, and 10 of those won't be at Arkansas anymore. They'll have found a new home.
through attrition, through other various things. You know, kids oftentimes sign with a school, and like you said, they'll transfer, or sometimes just decide that this is just not for me, because it's not like it was in high school. When you get to college, athletics is your job.
Well, and the other thing that we've seen with this staff is they like to sign a lot of junior college players, and so you only have those for maybe a year or 2 years,
Right.
a little bit more frequent of a turnover.
Well, Arkansas coach Brett Bielema met with the media today, and he was going to discuss all the signings that they had today. We got some video from that press conversation. Let's go to Coach Bielema at this time.
Yeah, very excited about today. It's kind of one of those, I was sitting there last night, I've never had 9 guys come in at the midterm, so you always, the night before, make sure you touch base with every kid, see where you're at, make sure everything's okay, and just because there's such a small number with half the class almost coming in January, it was a little bit odd, a little bit different, but really didn't have any significant surprises today. We're still swinging. We have an open scholarship that we're still kind of working on with a couple different avenues, and even some things that popped up today. So as is the case, it's always a work in progress. Also used a couple NCAA rules to work to our advantage this year as well, with some guys that will join the class now, but also as a scholarship player in the very near future. So.
That was Coach Brett Bielema talking about the large signing class that Arkansas signed today on the first day of the signing period. Today is an actual signing day, but it's actually a signing period. So athletes will be signing. Most of them signed today, but a lot of them will be signing over the next few days. We've got quite a few high school kids that in the area that are not signing today, but that will be signing over the next few days. So we'll shift our focus now over to Fayetteville High School. Today, Taylor Powell of Fayetteville, the all-star quarterback who led the Bulldogs to back-to-back state championships in Class 7A, signed with Missouri today. Taylor had originally verbally committed to Wake Forest, but Missouri came in with a late offer for him, and he decommitted from Wake Forest and committed to Missouri and signed with the Tigers today. Vernon Tarver, our reporter, was at his signing today, and let's take a...
involved with Missouri. Was it just a real quick, easy decision? Tell me about the process with Missouri.
They've been recruiting me for a while, for about this past 2 years. So I've had a good relationship with Coach Heupel, and they didn't know if they were going to take a quarterback for this class or not. And when they decided to, they told me that I was their guy, and that I've always been in love with Missouri, and it's the best fit for me.
Just what really are the main attractions to getting up there and being a part of the Tigers?
Playing the SEC, being close to home. They're going to be really good on offense next year, and it's really Coach Heupel's offense is going to be really fun to play in. It's really explosive. They will put up a lot of numbers, and hopefully we'll compete for an SEC East championship and go to Atlanta, and then hopefully compete later in their career for a national championship.
Today was also a big day at Springdale High School. Jaden Mint, a defensive back / receiver for the Red Bulldogs, signed a letter of intent with Ivy League member Dartmouth. Mint received a late offer from Dartmouth. In fact, he told our reporter Scotty Borderland that he was at work when he got the offer from Dartmouth, and had to take a break because it's such a big deal that came in late for him. He wasn't expecting it. Just a big opportunity for Jaden to go to an Ivy League school, get an Ivy League education, and just what a really big day for the Red Dogs. Scotty was at Jaden's signing today. Let's go to Scotty and get a recap on that signing with Jaden Mint.
Coach O'Day, my recruiting director, texted me when I was at work, and he was like, "Hey, Coach T's going to call you today," and I was just really excited. I mean, I knew that I was going to probably be offered soon, so I knew that had to be it. I told my manager, I said, "Is it okay if I take this phone call if I get one?" And he's been very supportive throughout this whole recruiting thing. If I have stuff to take off for a camp I have to go to or anything else, he's been very supportive. So he was okay with me taking that call. I took that call, talked to Coach T. The first thing he said was, "Hey, Jaden, I just wanted to let you know you have an offer." And he said, "You don't have to call me back ASAP, but whenever you make a decision, call me." I called my mom. I called my girlfriend. I knew that's where I wanted to be. I called him right back like 5 minutes later.
Okay. So what was wrong?
Bentonville had some signings today too. Their kicker, Hayden Mooring, one of the best kickers in the state and an all Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette selection. He signed with Navy today, where he'll be joining his brother, Bennett Mooring. Bennett has been a kicker at Navy, so that's just a big deal for the Mooring family to keep that Navy tradition, go midshipman for them. Jack Short also signed today at Bentonville. He signed with UCA, where he'll be a member of that recruiting class. So just a big day in Bentonville, and a big day all around in Northwest Arkansas. We had so many kids signed today, not just in football, where we had the majority of the players signed, but also we had some basketball players signing, some soccer signings, volleyball signings, baseball signing. Springdale Harbor had 3 signings today for baseball. So just a big day all around for Northwest Arkansas athletes and getting to further their career at the collegiate level. I want to remind you to pick up a copy of Thursday's Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, where we will have full coverage of all the signing days today. We will have capsules, highlights. We'll recap the Arkansas Razorbacks signing class and talk about all that. We'll also have recruiting coverage on the Southeastern Conference. We have recruiting coverage from Arkansas State, around the nation. So this is Recruiting Day Central this week, so make sure to pick up a copy of the Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. We want to congratulate all the athletes who are signing today and wish them good luck in the future as they go and take their career to the next level. Thank you for being here and watching this with us today, and again, just good luck to these athletes.